We got Freezy back in the building, baby. What's good with you?
What's good, brother? Happy to be here, per usual.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on. It's your busy ass schedule. Appreciate it, man. You know, we got a lot of exciting things coming up this weekend, especially for yourself.
I'm too hyped. I'm gonna point the jersey out later, but right now, we hype.
We hype. We in it. Guys, welcome back to another episode of the G Perspective. I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's been a little while since we've been on an episode. Last episode, I actually did have Freezy back on, so I appreciate you.
I'm the last episode.
Yeah.
Hell baby.
Been busy with the other pod with these other two guys, man. We've been doing a lot of work. Yeah, man. Guys, if you didn't know about that, it's called Views from the Stands. We put out like 2 episodes a week. So, putting in a lot of work. But guys, please like, subscribe, share the show with family, friends, everybody when you go to the tailgate. Anytime you go watch the game, let them know the G Perspective is on and popping when it comes to sports podcasts, baby. Video, audio. You'll see my social media accounts pop up. IG, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it is. You'll see it up on the screen. And if you guys are watching the recorded episode at GMike Media _. Just follow me, follow your boy. But now we're going to get into it, man. We got, we're going to be talking about some NFL awards. The finalists finally came out, so we're going to pick and choose who we think are going to win those. We're going to talk about the AFC and NFC Championship. Freezy's team's hosting it this year. Is going to be exciting for him. We're going to talk about a new OC in the LA Chargers. But first, I want to get into what the breaking news was today with the Baltimore Ravens. Then the Baltimore Ravens, there we go. The Baltimore Ravens hired Minter today to be their head coach, and the guy has a good resume. They hired him to be the head coach. He came as the defensive coordinator from the Chargers this past year, the last 4 years. He received a 5-year contract. He's been the defensive coordinator for the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh for the past 4 seasons, overseeing 2 in LA and then University of Michigan in 2022 and 2023, and the Chargers 2024 and 2025. Minter's first NFL job came with the Baltimore Ravens, back with John Harbaugh, who was the ex-coach for the Baltimore Ravens the last 18 seasons, where he was a defensive assistant from 2017 to 2021. Freezy, what are your thoughts on this new hire for the Baltimore Ravens?
I love this move. They're getting back to Ravens football. You hired a defensive mind, one that has been a hot commodity in the coaching ranks the last few years. I know the defensive guys don't typically get the hype that Ben Johnson would get, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, etc. But this guy, Jesse Minter, he's been at the top of coaching ranks as far as I've seen for the last few years. Started like you said, when he went to Michigan. John and Jim spoke on him. Actually, John let Jim know that's one of them guys right there. And Jim brought him to Michigan, won a natty, followed him to LA. Had some really good success there, and now he gets his chance to fix that Ravens defense that wasn't as good as the talent on the defense this season.
Definitely. Yeah, man, I think it's a good hire for them for sure. You bring in someone who basically has the same caliber of knowledge when it comes to the defensive mindset of what the Baltimore Ravens organization has been used to, right? You bring him in and you think that he's going to do maybe the same kind of work as John Harbaugh and have the same kind of coaching style as Jim Harbaugh, combine those two together, 2 brothers, 2 NFL coaches who have had success in the NFL. They actually played against each other, coached against each other in a Super Bowl when the San Francisco 49ers played against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens ultimately ended up winning that Super Bowl. And he's a good defensive-minded coach. I like what the Chargers did this past season. I think they started off the year strong, very strong when it came to the defensive side. They started lacking a little bit throughout the season and coming down to the end of the season. But I think a lot of people can give him the valid excuse of the fact that the offense really couldn't do much because of all the injuries that was going on the offensive line, the running backs, the receivers, and then Justin Herbert was out there. I mean, I feel like the guy's always playing hurt, but he's out there playing hurt, and he's trying to throw the ball to the guys. He's trying to get enough time to throw the ball or trying to run the ball himself. We saw this past playoff game that he had that he was getting crushed. It was like he was getting annihilated every single damn play. So I feel like he can use that excuse on the fact of, my team started to fall off because the offense wasn't really clicking like that. So I would give him that. But I think in the beginning of the season, they're a very good defensive team. And I think he could bring that to a Ravens squad that has great personnel on the defensive end.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Look what he did with a Chargers defense that it has talent on there, Derwin James, Khalil Mack, etc. But the Ravens, Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton, like it's just a lot. I feel like he's gonna have a lot more to work with, and of course, I mean you got on the other side Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. So he finds the right OC, he's gonna be cooking with something.
Yeah, and it's funny that you bring up Lamar because I wanted to ask you. I saw some rumors that the Las Vegas Raiders are going to try to go for Lamar Jackson or trade with a number 1 pick and stuff like that. But just with this breaking news coming in of them hiring this new coach, do you think he'll be able to sway the front office and even Lamar Jackson from not leaving Baltimore and actually keeping him there and trying to make it work with the squad that they have?
In this draft, no disrespect to these guys, I'm not trading Lamar Jackson for anybody. I don't know. No. So Lamar can pout. If he is pouting, he can be mad. He can ask for a trade. No. And I don't think Lamar wants to go to the Raiders either. Lamar is an East Coast kid, East Coast his whole life. Obviously grew up in Florida, Louisville, now in Baltimore. So I just can't foresee him wanting to move all the way to Las Vegas, especially granted they have Brady in charge, but to be on the Raiders with the history they've had the last 20 years or so, I think he's going to be able to easily have Lamar convinced to stay as his QB1 in 2026.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think Lamar should stay put, man. You're already comfortable in that city. You got chemistry with the guys around you. You have a great running back at the side of you or behind you. Derrick Henry, pause. But I think the personnel is good, man, for Lamar, man. I don't think he should, try to break out of there and hit the panic button. I think he should stay for sure. And the same thing with the front office. I don't think you should trade away a 2-time MVP who was almost a 3-time MVP. And the guy is just a phenomenal athlete. He's a great passing quarterback. He's obviously a phenomenal freaking rushing quarterback. I think his teammates love him. I think the coaching staffs love him. And if you just break that off and you try to get someone else to come in there and change the style of play that's been going on for these last few years, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a bad beat. It's going to be a wrong directional move.
I agree 100%.
Yeah,
I agree.
But yeah, hopefully he stays still. We'll say he's put. But just with another coach now that's going to be with the Chargers, but now it's the OC, the offensive coordinator now, who got hired by the Chargers, is Mike McDaniels, Miami Dolphins' old coach. And Mike McDaniels, they haven't signed the contract up to this day already, but he's expected to be the offensive coordinator there. And he had a lot of head coaching interview jobs. There was one that I saw for sure that he withdrew his application for the Cleveland Browns, which I don't fault him for. I mean, dude, it's super cold over there. This guy's a Cali guy. Like, he loves the weather in Cali. He loved the weather in South Florida. I'm sure he's not trying to go somewhere like that. Obviously, the head coaching position at any team is very, tempted. And, you do want to take it. But, he took a step back. Got a little demotion. Now he's going to be an OC in LA, going back to Cali roots. And he's going to have a lot of weapons, man. But what do you think with him in this situation, how it's going to look for him and the Chargers moving forward?
When you told me this was on the docket for this episode, I was so excited. I wish Logan Peter was here because I have a lot to say. Look, All right. Philly fans, you thought you were going to get this person, that person. You thought, oh, yeah, we're going to bring Mike McDaniels in. He's going to change everything. No, nobody wants to coach your quarterback. He just got done coaching Tua Tagovailoa for the last few years. You think he wants to go coach NFC Tua? And before Philly fans get started, oh, he won a Super Bowl. He was Super Bowl MVP. That's cute. I understand this is the game's biggest game. That brother won a playoff game going 13 for 21 for 128 yards. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. This brother saw Herbert available and said, yeah, I'm going to go mess with that. Because despite the, and it's deserved after this past playoff game, despite the hate that Herbert may not be able to get over the hump, I would rather coach Justin Herbert every day of the week and lose in the wild card round than have me as the OC play caller get the blame because the quarterback gets overrated by the fan base. And now they're looking at me like I'm an idiot when the plays are there to be made. And now I look like Boo Boo the Fool. Hell yeah, Mike McDaniel, go to LA. I hope you guys get a real wide receiver one. Joe Alt will be back. Rashawn Slater will be back. Hopefully, Omarion Hampton can stay healthy. And go ahead. And I am a Broncos fan, so don't do too much. But at the same time, yeah, brother, go coach you an elite quarterback. An elite quarterback.
Yeah, facts. He's gonna have an elite quarterback, and I think that's what's very exciting. Like for him, from me, is the fact that he gets to prove his offensive mentality again. Right? He gets to
Absolutely.
prove the whole the naysayers wrong and be like, yo, this guy doesn't know how to coach anymore. He doesn't know how to run a locker room and this and that. And I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those guys that said that he is not a leader of men, in my opinion. He cannot coach a whole football team, but he is an offensive guru. I'll give him that.
Amen.
So I think him demoting himself,
Yeah.
obviously he got fired from the Miami Dolphins, but he could have had a head coaching job somewhere else. I'm sure he could have gotten that Cleveland job. I'm sure he would have gotten maybe two other jobs somewhere else. But him demoting himself to be an offensive coordinator once again with Justin Herbert, who's a great young talent, amazing passer. He's a good rusher at times too. He's gonna have, like Freezy said, Omari Hampton back there. You know, their running back room is not bad. The offensive line obviously just needs to be healthy. I think they're still going to draft some offensive line this year in this year's draft, so it's going to help them out even more. The receiving core, yeah, if they get another a true wide receiver one out there, is going to be bangers for them for sure. I think that whole offense is filled with weapons. They have the chance to put up 30 points per game, in my opinion. And him going over there, using all his skills that with the creative mindset that he has with making plays and putting guys on the line and making them I'm blanking on the word, but misshifting the whole offense so the defense doesn't know exactly what you're doing. You guys running from sideline to sideline before the plays even starts, setting motions, that was the word, setting motions and all this stuff. And it's like he has a chance to do that and prove himself that he can be a great offensive coordinator once again with Justin Herbert and the rest of those guys in the Chargers. And honestly, I'm excited for the fact that he's able to do that, man, because a lot of people were writing him off, especially myself, when it comes to head coaching. And he's going to have the opportunity to show that he can be the great offensive guru once again. And maybe, just maybe, after his run is done with the Chargers, maybe he can get another head coaching job. Do you
I
think he'll be able to get another head coaching job?
I guarantee he's getting another head coaching job. Matter of fact, as soon as the season is over, George, I know you're a betting man like myself. Go to FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever app you like to use, Hard Rock Bets. Go ahead, NFL futures, Justin Herbert, MVP. Just throw some change on there. Just throw some change.
Bro,
So,
you're the second person to tell me that, dude. You're the second
bro,
person to tell me that.
bro, he had Tua in MVP talks. What do you think he's about to do with Herbert? If the offensive line stays healthy, and please, for the love of God, get this brother a real number one. I love Lad McConkey. My favorite college team is Georgia. Go Dogs. Keenan Allen's a legend. These brothers are not 2026 number one wide receivers.
No.
Go get Trey Harris might step up in year 2. But man, go get a real number one. Trade for AJ Brown. I don't know. And then at that point, you've got who I don't care what anybody says, still a top 5 to 7 quarterback in this league, set up to go with 2 Pro Bowl, in Slater's case, all pro tackles, and you got one of the best play callers in the league. Man, run this up, man. Run it. I'm even gonna put some change on it at that point.
Oh man, and that's what I was gonna ask you next. I know you said AJ Brown, so we'll keep him out of this whole conversation. But I was gonna ask you, what is one receiver you think that they should trade for? Obviously, you know it's your rival team. You don't really want them to spark up that much, but just as a true NFL fan, true NFL analyst, and true NFL writer, who else do you think that they should trade for in the league?
Oh, I'll give you 3 quick ones. Why not take a flyer on Tyreek Hill? You know, pair him back up with Mike McDaniel. Tyreek obviously has hinted at wanting to leave, so why not? I'm not gonna lie, they're not gonna do it, but I would just take a little chance on Marvin Harrison Jr. They don't seem to even use him anymore. He did get hurt at the end of the year. Go get Marvin Harrison. He's young. It'll be year 3. Give the brother a chance. And then the third one, I hope this happens because at that point, my brother is saved from the depths of hell. Go get Garrett Wilson from the deepest trenches of hell, please, because the NFL does not know how good that. Actually, I think they do, but a lot of people, the casual fan, do not know how good Garrett Wilson is. Go save that brother, please.
Yeah, I think Garrett Wilson is actually a phenomenal choice, honestly. But I think the more realistic would be to get someone in free agency, and I hate to say it, but I think George Pickens might be that guy that they need to go for and just throw a bag at him. Because
If y'all let George Pickens walk, I promise you,
bro, if we let George Pickens walk, I wouldn't even be surprised, Freezy. I would not be surprised, bro. With all the stuff that we have been doing with these trades and letting people walk and not giving them the money, I would not be surprised if Jerry Jones does not give a bag to George Pickens. And George Pickens, please. I feel like he's gonna want the bag for sure.
He deserves it.
He deserves it. First team All Pro. First team All Pro. The guy was playing better than CeeDee Lamb in some games. It's tough to say. In some games he was. And you know, if the Chargers want a true wide receiver 1, I think George Pickens might be the play for them. Just throw a bag at him. Just throw a bag.
Yeah.
Be tough for me, dog. It would be tough for me, man. But honestly, at the end of the day, you know, you got to think like a true NFL analyst.
That's real.
That might be the damn play for the Chargers.
That's true. That's true. Right.
So we got 2 big games coming up this weekend, baby. We got the NFC Championship and we got the AFC Championship. The first game that's going to be played is the AFC Championship between the New England Patriots and Denver Broncos. Broncos are hosting this game 3 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. We'll talk about this game first, and I know there's a lot of feelings and emotions that are coming with this game for you, Freezy. But just to set the stage here for you fans that do not know, Bo Nix will not be playing because he is out for the rest of the playoffs and may be until preseason with a broken ankle. And they lose their starting quarterback, the Denver Broncos, for this matchup. And if they win, Super Bowl matchup, and it's going to be tough for them. The New England Patriots, they have been playing phenomenal. They have been doing their thing. But just to get Freezy's thoughts, who do you think wins this game and why?
You know, George, in life, you got to go down with the ship. All right. I don't care if it's biased. I don't care what anybody says. I have a legit feeling in my gut, in my heart. The Denver Broncos are going to defeat the New England Patriots this Sunday. The biggest home underdog since the merger in 1970 in a conference championship game. It was 5.5 as early as yesterday. It has dropped to 4.5 somehow. The Broncos aren't a team built on one person. Not to say New England is. They have a lot of talent as well. But they've got Drake May. If Drake, hey, that's that boy. Not to say again, Bo Nix. I've come around to Bo Nix. I think he's a good player. He's not Drake May. The Broncos are a defensive first team, and Sean Payton is able to call the right plays at the right time, and they've got a top 3 offensive line. J.K. Dobbins is coming back. It looks like Troy Franklin's been practicing. We're getting our center back. Patrick Bryant is practicing. All hands minus Bo Nix are on deck. The Broncos are 4-0 against the Patriots in the playoffs in NFL history. 10 years ago, almost to the day, January 25th, 2016. 24th, I believe. I might have messed that up. The Denver Broncos defeated the New England Patriots to go to Super Bowl 50 in Santa Clara, California. And guess what, George? 10 years, January, I think 25th, the Denver Broncos will defeat the Patriots to go to Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California. You can book it. It won't be easy. I think the points you have to keep it at, if you're the Broncos defense, is 21. You can't win a game like you won last week where the defense was, they created turnovers, but Buffalo was gashing them for big game after big game. James Cook had a great game. In all honesty, I know it's hard to say outside the turnovers, but Josh Allen played a really good game as well.
100%.
100%. Yeah, you can't have a 33-30 game. This needs to be the Broncos defense looking at each other and saying, we have to keep this to no more than 20 to 21 points. Anything more than that, you can plan your vacation because we're finna head home. That's it.
Yeah. All right, just to give you guys some stats out there between these two teams in this game, right? Points per game. The Patriots are 28-8, second in the league. The Broncos are 24 points, and they're 14th in the league. Yards per game, 380 for the Patriots, third in the league. 343 for the Broncos, and 10th in the league. Time of possession per game, 31 minutes for the Patriots, 6th in the league. 31 minutes for the Broncos, 7 in the league. So right neck and neck right there. Total defensive sacks, 35 for the Patriots, 22nd in the league. 68 for the Broncos, first in the league. Total defensive interceptions, 10 for the Patriots and 18th in the league, and 10 for the Broncos, 18th in the league. And then total turnover differential, +3 for the Patriots, they're 10th in the league, -3 for the Broncos, 19th in the league. Now, this is a 20-25 stats matched together throughout the whole year, correct? So, in the beginning, Bo Nix was playing decent. He wasn't playing amazing. He wasn't really going off. The defense is what really was putting everything together from A to B to C to D, from 1, 2, 3, from start to finish, even up to now, to this point, right?
Right.
Bo Nix started picking it up in the middle of the season and started picking up at the end of the season because Freezy and I actually had an episode that we were talking smack about Bo Nix and how he couldn't really get it done. But he proved us wrong. And he started going off, and he started doing what he needed to do, right? So the numbers could be a little bit different if he actually played great from the beginning of the season to now, right? But the Patriots are a good offensive team. Drake May is that dude. If you guys do not know him, watch his games, watch his highlights, look at his stats, research on the guy, because the guy is going to be a legend to come. After Tom Brady, they got this guy, and it's going to be crazy for the AFC rivals, the Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, and New York Jets. They're going to be sick to their stomach with May, for sure. I like their running game. I think Travion Henderson actually steps up a little bit more, I think, which would be next season and on. Right now, he's a rookie. There's a lot of things that he needs to learn, for sure, but he's a good pass blocker. So they're going to be out there using him out on the field, for sure. He might get some checkdowns. He might get 2-3 catches this game. Who knows? But with that offense going up against this great defense, I think it's going to go one or two ways, right? I think it's going to go either the Broncos get too tired in the second half and they're not putting up so much points that the Patriots are going to end up taking off at the end of the third, going into the fourth quarter, or the Broncos defense is going to really step up this whole damn game like they have been all year. So there's no reason why we shouldn't think that they won't do it again. So I think they'll be able to hold the Patriots to at least 17 points or under that. The problem is going to be if the backup quarterback is going to show what he should be showing on what Sean Payton has been talking to him about. And other NFL analysts, other reporters, if you've been watching ESPN or NFL Network or whatever, they've been talking highly of this guy, and they think that he can play, they think that he can ball, and they think that he can go out there and win this game. But it's gonna be tough, Freezy. It's gonna be tough. Man.
Run the ball and let Stiddy take some chances down the field, and we're gonna have a fun Stiddy party at the end of the night.
Yeah,
and we're gonna go to the Super Bowl as long as he plays within himself. He plays confident, doesn't overthink everything. I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah, man. If he could be a good game manager like Jalen Hurts been to Super Bowls. He won one. So who knows?
I will say I do think this game is going one of two ways. I think we either get our ass kicked or it's going to be a close game that we come out on top in.
I think it's going to be a close game too. That's why I was putting all these stats together because I think it's a great offense going up a great defense. It's gonna be back and forth the whole time, just like how the Indiana and Miami game was on Monday night. I don't think no team is gonna take off and run away with this game, honestly. Even though the Patriots are very good offensively, but the Broncos just have so much on defense that it's tough for me to say that Drake May is going to go out there, throw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and they're going to run the ball down their throat and stuff like that. Like, nah, I don't know. I don't see that happening. I think Drake May throws a touchdown for sure, but I think he'll throw a pick. And on the other side as well, I think the backup will throw a pick. But I think if he minimizes his turnover ratio, like his turnovers, I think the Broncos could pull it off, man. I think they could pull it off.
I surely hope so. We're going to see.
All right, let's talk about this next game. The next game is the NFC Championship, which will be the same day, just at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And the LA Rams are going to the Seattle Seahawks, their divisional rival. The Seahawks are hosting this game. Man, the Seahawks and Rams both have looked so great offensively and defensively all year. I would say on the offensive side, it's kind of neck and neck. I can't really pinpoint on who can be better than the other just throughout the whole season. I think there's some games, obviously, Seattle has just thrown it out of the park, scoring 40 plus per game, 40 plus in 2 games or 3 games, I think it was this season. And then the Rams having an MVP quarterback, in my opinion, this year with Matthew Stafford on how he's been getting the ball to his primary target in Puka Nakul, but then his secondary target in Devontae Adams that he led the league in receiving touchdowns. That 2 offenses are just great. I just think, in my opinion, the Seattle's defense is a little bit better than the Rams' defense. But I want to get your thoughts on this. Who do you think is going to win this game and why?
I actually haven't had trouble picking this game. I think the Rams are going to win. I think they are the better team. I think they're better coached, which is saying a lot because I think Seattle is very well coached. I think Matt Stafford, Devontae Adams, I think they know where they're at in their careers. And you don't get too many opportunities to get to the Super Bowl. This one is staring you in the face. This should be in LA, but the Rams kind of fell off at the end of the season. And they've been to Seattle already, obviously, division rivals. But when they were in Seattle, they really kicked their butts for 95% of the game. I believe they were up 30-14 and so happened to blow it and lost in overtime. I think the Rams are going to be just fine. I think it'll be tougher. I don't think the Seahawks defense is going to give up 37 points like they did last time. But the Rams defense has had a lot of success against Sam Darnold dating back to last season when he was on the Vikings. And although I do think there's concern with the Rams defense, they played really well last week against a really good Bears offense. And, man, I just trust Sean McVay and I trust Matt Stafford to get the job done. I don't think there's been a receiver better than Puka Nakua this season. The Seahawks defense is fantastic. I have nothing but love and respect for them. But I have both underdogs winning this week. I've got the Rams winning somewhere along the lines of 30-27. And maybe if things really get crazy, 34-30. But yeah, I got the Rams on the road advancing to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. I got the Rams on the road too, man. But just to put out the same stats that it was for the AFC Championship, LA and Seattle throughout the whole season. Points per game, 31 for LA, first in the league. 25 for Seattle, third in the league. Yards per game, 395 for LA, first in the league. 351 for Seattle, seventh in the league. Time of possession per game, 31 minutes for LA, 12th in the league. 30 minutes for Seattle, 14th in the league. Total defensive sacks, 47 for LA, 7th in the league. And the same goes for the Seattle Seahawks. Total defensive interceptions, 16th for the Rams, 6th in the league. 18 for the Seattle Seahawks, 5th in the league. So right there, neck and neck. Total turnover differential, plus 10 for the Rams, 5th in the league. Minus 3 for the Seattle Seahawks, 19th in the league. So their defense has been great, but it's not like the Rams defense is not up to par. I think they're both neck and neck there when it comes to the defense. Again, in my opinion, I just think the Seattle's defense is a little bit better. We're here with the stats. They're just mentioning it with the interceptions. They've gotten 2 more interceptions than the LA Rams, and obviously the same amount of sacks in the LA Rams. So I would say kind of right on that. A little bit different. But bro, first in the league with scoring points, man. That just shows how many weapons that they have with Matthew Stafford at the realm, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, who's been running like a monster. He's running like he deserved that contract extension, which he absolutely did. Their offensive line is playing impeccable because I have not seen Matthew Stafford get pressure so much this season. Like I haven't really seen it. I don't even think. I mean, obviously, I'm not watching every single minute of every single Rams game, but I think he barely got sacked this season. I don't know. You tell me. But I don't know, man. I like the way the Seattle's playing as well. I think their offense is really damn good. Sam Darnold really has proven me wrong, man. I really thought that it was just a fluke year that he had with the Minnesota Vikings. Then he went to Seattle. I didn't think he was going to do it again. Really proved me wrong there. Jackson Smith-Njigba looked like the best fantasy player this year. Probably offensive player of the year, in my opinion. But, dude, the way that they're not going to have Chad Burnett for this game, I think it's really going to hurt them because the way that they've been using him with the red zone touchdowns and trying to get him to score every single touchdown every single time, it's really going to affect them. Now they're going to have to rely on Kenneth Walker or doing other play calls when it comes to red zone. And the way that the defense of the LA Rams have been playing, it looks like they're not going to give up big plays. You're going to have to beat them inch by inch and get to the red zone. So we're going to see what Seattle does in the red zone yardage, man, because you don't have Chad Burnett, who's their number 1 red zone scorer. It's going to really affect them, bro. And because of that, I got to go with the LA Rams. I think they only win by a field goal. I think it's going to be a close game. I do think that each quarterback can throw at least 2 touchdowns, but I think Kyron Williams sets it off with a touchdown and at least 80 yards.
Okay, fine with me. Shout out to the Rams.
Yeah, man. No, they've been looking good all year, man. Seattle's been looking good all year. I think they both deserved it to be up to this point.
For sure.
Then, dude, with Sam Darnold, man, I think even if he loses this game, would you still consider him to be? And when I say lose, like if he doesn't do good this game and they lose, would you still consider him to be one of the top, I would say 15, maybe top 10 quarterbacks in the league this season?
Oh yeah, for sure, top 15 for sure. He's bald. I'm not typically one that likes to get swayed by one game. Philly fans. But yeah, he's bald this year. he top 15 for sure, and I think I'm happy he has a consistent job. He'll be able to start for Seattle again next year and either build on potentially a Super Bowl run or at least get ready to gear up and try again next year.
Yep. So that's the NFC, AFC Championship games, man. Hopefully Denver does come out with the win, so I can see my dog here happy as hell of them getting back to the Super Bowl because it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It's been what, 10 years?
I was in high school last time we went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 10 years, dog. 10 years. That's crazy. So guys, we're gonna get to some NFL awards now. They just came out with the finalists today. Gonna do all of them except the assistant coaching one. So I'm gonna just put it up on the screen here. Freezy and I are gonna choose who we think is gonna win it, why, and then move on to the next one. So we'll start with the first one here, and the MVP, baby, the MVP of the National Football League. Freezy, who you got?
Matthew Stafford. And Drake May really does deserve it as well, but there's no way I'm overlooking 46 touchdowns. I'm not doing that. A lot of people want to hate on him and call him a fade ball merchant because Devontae Adams led the league in touchdowns. I don't care. Like, what? Since when has that become a problem? Hater for real. Matt Stafford balled all season. I know he kind of tapered off at the end, but Matt Stafford and what he is to the Rams, granted, what Drake May is to the Patriots is very important. Mm-hmm. But yeah, give me Matt Stafford to win his first MVP and, in my opinion, solidify him as a top 10 to 12 quarterback all time.
And a true first ballot Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Absolutely, undoubtedly.
Stafford led the league in the NFL with passing yards, 4,707, 46 touchdowns. He threw 8 picks, finished second to May with a passer rating of 109.2. Stafford first team All-Pro and the first time in his 17-year career. And he led the Rams to an NFC Championship game. He has done it all with the team that he has had around him, and the way that he's been putting up so many points. You heard it here earlier, 31 points per game, first in the league. I think Matthew Stafford deserves it to get this MVP this season for sure. Over these guys, don't get me wrong, Drake May, yes, he's done it, but the fact that he only played 2 or 3 above 500 teams this season, it's kind of iffy for me. Don't get me wrong. The guy's a star. The guy's nasty. But it would be different if he played the same amount of above 500 teams as Matthew Stafford. Because Matthew Stafford played, I think, half the season.
Look at his division.
His division itself.
Come on, man.
6 games right there where teams are nasty.
It's absurd, bro.
Crazy. We'll jump with the next one here, which is Coach of the Year finalists. Freezy, what you got?
Kyle Shanahan. All these guys, once again, deserve it. All of them turned around situations that weren't ideal. You got Ben Johnson getting the most out of Caleb Williams, who I think is going to be a top 5 quarterback in the league very soon. Liam Cohen got Trevor Lawrence played the best ball of his career so far. Mike McDonald, he's still coaching. He's going to be coaching in a few days, and what he's been able to do for that defense has been fantastic. And of course, Mike Vrabel, same thing as Mike. He's been able to get New England, who had a top 5 pick last season. They're still playing. They again playing a few days and ultimately have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But what Kyle was able to do with a roster where from week 1 you're missing your quarterback Brock Purdy, you're missing Kittle at different times throughout the season. You didn't get Brandon Ayuk back. You lose Nick Bosa week 1. You lose Fred Warner a few months back. You lose Drake Greenlaw in free agency. You lose Hufanga in free agency. You lose Kittle in the playoffs, still win a playoff game. I just utmost respect for Kyle Shanahan, someone who I'm surprised he doesn't have one of these already with the job he was able to do with Jimmy G in the past. But I think all these guys honestly deserve it. But my vote is for Kyle Shanahan for what he was able to do with the injuries.
Bro, and that's, super facts right there, man. The fact that he could do all that with the injuries that he had, man, is freaking phenomenal. And I agree with you. All these coaches deserve it, man. You know, a lot of them first-year coaches are with his teams and taking them to the playoffs, trying to take them deep into the playoffs. Some of them here, some of them are still playing. So just going based off that, man, I got to go with Mike McDonald just because of the fact of during the NFC Championship, he really flipped that offense around with Sam Darnold, Jason Njigba, with Kenneth Walker, Chapman on the running backs positions. The offensive line is freaking phenomenal to me. And the defense, man, the defense is just crazy. They're playing insane right now, and they're gaining another shot to play insane and ultimately go to the Super Bowl. Again, all these coaches deserve it for sure. I got to give it to the person who's done the most success with the stuff that they had and how they did it. And I think that Mike McDaniels with the Seattle Seahawks has just taken it over.
I respect that.
Yeah. So we're gonna go here with I forgot what the CEP was. Refresh you.
Oh, comeback player of the year.
Comeback player of the year.
Good.
Comeback player of the year. Who you got?
Dak Prescott. Chris McCaffrey deserves it as well, but actually, because Christian almost had 1K and 1K. That's crazy.
Yeah. Again,
I'm gonna go with Dak just because Dak really should have been an MVP candidate if you guys didn't have a JV level defense for half the season, and then of course you made the trade for what's my boy's name, Quentin Williams, and things were able to turn up in a more positive direction. But Dak was a baller from start to finish. I think he proved, in my opinion, he's a top 10 quarterback. A lot of people like to put wins and losses on quarterbacks, but that's not really the case. Sometimes it's a team game, and Dak did more than his fair share. But again, Chris McCaffrey, he has more than a good case to be able to win that award.
I gotta give it to Aiden Hutchinson here, man, just because of the gruesome injury that he went through last season, and that could have really set a lot of people back and not even ultimately play another second of down of football ever again. And he came back, he came strong, and he ended the year with 14 and a half sacks. He could, I think he's up for Defensive Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. If I did not see that right, but
we're about to find out just a second.
We're about to find out. But dude, 14 and a half sacks, man, that's a lot, man. With the gruesome injury he had to his leg, I think his leg broke in two, if I'm not mistaken, Freezy. But
yeah,
crazy injury, man. That shit, I would never want to see that happen to anybody else. He came back strong. He led that Detroit Lions defense, even though they weren't a great defense. They were not decent. They're in the middle of the pack this season. But, he did all of that coming back from that gruesome injury, man. I got to give it to him, man. 14 and a half sacks for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to go now with Defensive Player of the Year, and he is there. All right, so who you got here?
Oh, Myles Garrett really easily broke the sack record.
Has to be.
Fantastic player. And the funny part is he wasn't even on pace to break the sack record to like midway through the season. It was a point where he had like 10 sacks in 3 games, had a 5-sack game. One of the greatest defensive players we've ever seen. Up there with the Aaron Donalds as far as generational guys go. J.J. Watts, he's up there with them. Shout out to my boy Nick Bonito, though. Shout out to Will Anderson. He is fantastic. Yeah. Again, shout out to Aiden, like you said, what he was able to do coming back off that gruesome injury. And then shout out Michael Parsons. He's Michael Parsons.
Michael Parsons.
I think Myles Garrett pretty easily has this award.
Yeah, for sure. When you break a single season record like that with 23 sacks, and he had 33 tackles for loss, he was defensive player in 2023. Dude, I think it's just a unanimous Defensive Player of the Year award that should just go to him for sure.
It should be unanimous.
All right, Offensive Player of the Year. What you got? This one's tough. This one's tough. I don't like the fact that they put Drake May in there. I just want to say that.
You know what that means, though, George? You know what I mean? I mean, Matt Stafford won MVP. That's what
probably. But I don't like how the MVP, and we've said this several times on this podcast, in person, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard it on NFL Network or ESPN or whatever, but the fact that MVP is just NFL MVP is just mainly for quarterbacks, rubs me the wrong way. I think they should have their own award. Quarterback of the Year. You feel me? But if you're gonna have offensive player of the year, don't add a quarterback in. Just leave him with the MVPs then.
That's true. Off this list, I'm gonna go Puka Nacua. JSN was fantastic. Don't get me wrong. JSN was phenomenal. But Puka missed a couple weeks, and he's still on JSN's bumper as far as statistics go. I just think, like I said earlier in the show, I don't think there was a receiver better than Puka this year. Just a fantastic player. A fantastic player. Does everything well. He doesn't separate the best. I know that's kind of been a knock on him, but he's gotten better at it. One of the best in the league at contested catches, arguably the best hands in the league. Great after the catch. He blocks very well. Just give me. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Puka, but again, a lot of these guys. Bijan had a case. Bijan had a hell of a season. McCaffrey almost had 1,000 and 1,000, and of course, like I said, JSN, he had a fantastic season. But I'm gonna go with Puka.
I gotta go with McCaffrey, man, and I know that the Niners still did work with their receivers when Mac Jones was on the center. Obviously, Brock Purdy came back and he was doing his thing as well. But if it's not for McCaffrey, I don't think that this offense would hold together. I don't think the Niners would have made the playoffs. I don't even think that they would have fell out the bracket of being in the top 5 draft pick this season. I think they would have had a horrible season for real. And again, it's a lot to say because they have George Kittle, Jawan Jennings, Brock Purdy when he came back, Kendrick Boone, he was doing good for like 3-4 games. But if it's not for McCaffrey, I don't think these other players do work like that because he takes so much focus and intense tenacity when the defense is looking over him that they need to make sure they know where he is at all times and what he is doing at all times. So the fact that he almost got 1,000 and 1,000 again just shows how nasty he can be if everybody stays healthy and there's no one else around.
Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
All right. Defensive Rookie of the Year. What you got?
Nick Emanwari. And this one is not going to be statistical. You just have to go and watch it. Carson Schlesinger was also fantastic. Mm-hmm. But if you watch Nick and what he was able to do for the Seahawks, he basically plays their big slot corner. He does a lot for the defense that would essentially require a film breakdown. Yeah. But he's a chess piece that as a rookie, maybe I didn't expect him to be that good, but he's been fantastic for them. Tackles very well, is good in coverage, blitzes well, you name it. So I'm gonna go with Nick. None of these guys have like the greatest statistical case. Carson might have the best.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with, Carson.
I'm not mad at that one bit. I actually have no argument for that whatsoever.
Yeah, the way that he was just tackling and helping with the rush defense was just great to me. Obviously, the Browns have been a good defense for the past 5 years. I would say since Myles Garrett got there, really. But they've been holding their own, man. And if it wasn't for their offense being so wishy-washy, I think the Browns may even win their division sometimes, honestly. But yeah. Carson, man, I think he was doing great this year. The fact that he was able to help that defense with their rushes and obviously the pass defense as well. I think he deserves it in my opinion.
That's real. I'm not mad at that.
All right, last one. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
This one was a little difficult because a lot of these guys like ebbed and flowed as the season went on. Like Emeka Egbuka started off the season fantastic and then fell off a cliff. Yeah. Jackson Dart was doing okay and got injured for a bit there. Travion picked it up at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Ted McMillan was pretty much good the whole season, and then Tyler Shuck started off slow in his few starts, but then he started to ball at the end of the season. So I'm going to go Ted McMillan. I think he's the most consistent. He looks like a really good number 1 wide receiver going forward. Free him from Bryce Young. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ted McMillan. I think he'll be a top 10 to 15 receiver here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna go with him too, just because of the consistency he had all year. Because you're right with Mbuka and the way that he fell off. Obviously, it's not ultimately his fault, but he did fall off. Trevion Henderson didn't wake up until the end of the season, so they had like two opposite seasons. Tyler, I think he could have done a little bit better, but he did go off at the end of the season for sure. I just felt like there was some important games that he played in that he could have shown more, and he didn't. Obviously, you know that comes with the learning curve. So we'll see what's up with him next season. I think they go with him as a starter. And then Jackson Dart, I think if he was able to keep Neighbors and not, because I think the Giants, if I'm not mistaken, there were another team that was very injury prone as well. They had a lot of
injuries. For sure.
Yeah, so because Cam Scottaboo was out of there, Neighbors was out of there like week 2, week 3. So I think if he would have had his weapons around him, I think he would have been able to win this award. But I think McMillan takes it for sure.
I'm with that.
Yeah, bro. Hey, appreciate you coming on, my guy. You already know what it is, baby. Hey, I'm gonna pray for you, baby.
Please do, man.
Pray for the Broncos, baby.
You ever had a game where like your favorite team is about to play? I know you have Miami on Monday, but it just feels like you're about to play. So you like in your head, you get nervous. My girlfriend texted me earlier. She's like, what are we doing this weekend? I said, I'm not thinking about this week. I want to win the game. That's all I care about. What you mean we? You can sit on the couch.
No. Go out with your girls.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm playing at this point. So hopefully the Broncos get the job done. If not, I'm very appreciative of the season that they've given me as a fan. And all 4 of these teams are more than deserving to reach the Super Bowl. All of them fantastically coached. All of them have great strengths. And I can't wait to sit on the couch and see what we end up with Sunday night.
Yeah, man. Hey, backup Q. He can put in work and he
let's go. Steady party.
If Steady could game manage his ass off, man, I think you guys can put it off, bro. Because I think that Denver defense is gonna come to play. They know they have to come to play. They know.
Amen.
Hey, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Please let these people know where they can follow you, view your stuff. Let them know what you got going on, my boy.
You guys can follow me at Freezy Sports on Instagram with a Z. Freezy Sports with an S on TikTok. And then, sadly, I always say this, Sports Freezy on Twitter or X, because there's someone out there that decided to use my name, which is hilarious. But you can find me there. Great things coming up this season for me and G Money. I'll be at the Combine in a few months per usual, and following the draft after that. So keep up with that. Hopefully I'll be back on the show very soon.
Yes, sir. Very, very soon. Guys, you know where you can follow me. GMike Media _ on TikTok, YouTube, and IG. Instagram, on X at George Mike Perez. The audio version and video version is available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube as well. And if you guys are into sports gambling, I run a Telegram channel where we offer sports gambling slips daily to get you winnings from $25 to $50 to $100 a day. You only pay $10 a month, and we have an affiliate program as well where you can get extra money on the side by bringing people in and joining the community and try to get these wins together. You'll see the link pop up on the screen, watching the recorded episode, of course, and you'll see my social media accounts where you could just slide in my DM, start a conversation on. I can give you all the details on how to get you on and pop. And my other podcast with my other two boys, Steve and BC, is called Views from the Stands. You can catch that on all podcast platforms everywhere, and we drop 2 episodes per week. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share the show. Freezy, I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for coming on. And go Broncos. Broncos country.
Broncos. Yes, sir.